Hey guys, my name is Carmela Leon and I'm going to be talking to you guys about euthanasia. I believe euthanasia is a big one because I'm big on pro-choice, and I believe that if you have the right to end a potential life, in this case by the procedure of an abortion, I think that you should also be able to take your own life if you're terminally ill. So it's a big misconception of suicide. A lot of people are very skeptical and they don't like it because it's not what we consider natural death or natural cause of death. It's a death that is inflicted upon itself, or a doctor aids you in dying. But as I put there very clearly, you have to be terminally ill. So it's not just anybody who just wants to die because they're depressed or because they're in a mental state that they just want to end their life. No, they actually have to be terminally ill and they have to have 6 months or less to live. Also, the patients who do this, they need to be clinically sane in their mind. They can't have dementia or Alzheimer's. So they have to be conscious of the actions that they're doing, but most importantly, they have to be a terminal patient, like cancer or a disease that will end their life. It also gives them a dignified way of dying. Many of us, we don't want anything to happen to our family members, but that's just the way it is. Nobody can live forever, it's impossible. And I feel like our family members don't want us to see them in that state of when they just get really bad and they're suffering and they're through pain. So I think they always consider this because they don't want us to take a bad image of them. So it's called dignified dying, and they get to choose when they want to die and how they want to do it. So death with dignity, it's basically, a lot of patients choose it to be in their home because it's a setting that they're comfortable with and their family members are there that day, and they choose, it's basically like your death date. You choose the day that you want and everybody goes and you're ready. You know that day is the day it's going to be. But most of these people are in a lot of pain when they make these decisions is because they really can't take it anymore. And a lot of these patients are in hospice and in hospital settings. So when they take this decision, usually they go home. But like I said here, you have to be terminally ill and have 6 months or less to live. Also, in order to get euthanasia, it's not that easy. Like I mentioned before, not everybody is applicable for it. You have to have 2 doctors diagnose you that you are terminally ill with 6 months or less to live. So it has to come by 2 physicians, not just one, the diagnosis. Also, the patient needs to have a written consent and an oral consent that they do agree with all the terms and conditions about what's going to go on with the procedure. Now, the patient also needs to be a resident of the state, and there's only right now 5 states who have this legalized, which is California, Vermont, Hawaii, Oregon, and Washington. So we're missing a lot of states that don't have it legalized, and I feel like it's just because people are not informed about it and they have a very big misconception of it. So for example, if you're sick in Florida that we live in and you have cancer and you want to move to California because you want to die because they have this law over there, you can't just go over there and get it done. You actually have to be a resident and live there for 6 months at least in California to be able to be applicable for this. So it's a process that takes a while. It's not that easy and it's a lot of paperwork, but for those people who do apply, it's very beneficial for them because they get to pass away and, you know, choose what they want to do with their life when they want to. So how do you fix this? By legalizing it nationwide. That's the only way that this will get solved. There's many people suffering right now in hospitals, many families that are heartbroken, and they know that their family members are going to die regardless because there's no going out of it, and they can't do anything about it but to wait. It's a waiting game, and you have to wait until it just happens. So why not be able to take hold of your own life and just deciding for yourself when you want to do this and when you feel comfortable to do this. So I feel like the best way to do this is by teaching people about it and educating others, because like I said, a lot of people are oblivious to this and death is a topic that nobody wants to talk about. So by teaching people and letting them know the options and that this does exist and that it's okay for this to happen, I think it'll facilitate a lot that it'll be legalized in more states. Now imagine 20 years from now with euthanasia. Obviously there's going to be medical advances, but like always there's going to be new diseases, and they're going to be stronger diseases. Like there were 20 years ago, we don't have the same diseases that we have now. So we're going to have new diseases, but also we're going to have the right to terminate our life if we were to be terminally ill or something were to happen to us. And if we wouldn't have euthanasia, we're still going to get sick regardless. They're still going to get the same disease. And it's, like I said, the waiting game, that you're just going to see them suffer through the whole process, and that's really heartbreaking for everybody as a family. So take control of your own life, and I hope that it gets legalized in many more states, and hopefully this teaches a lot of people of euthanasia and that it's not as bad as everybody thinks it is. Any questions? Yes.
So what's the difference between assisted suicide and assisted dying?
Okay, so assisted suicide is basically when you get the okay to get the euthanasia and you drink it yourself. Like you drink the medication yourself. And assisted dying is when a doctor gives you the medication.
Okay.
So usually assisted suicide, you do it at home and you just prepare the meds yourself and you drink them. And then assisted dying is usually hospital based.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.